Hello everyone, good morning. So, this is a video recorded session, but I tried to make it as interactive as possible. So, I have divided this in three different breakouts. This means we are not breaking down, I'm not ending the video, but there will be timers in between that where you have to research a bit. Okay, so I am going to teach you how to write social identity theory evaluation. But this is not about social identity theory, but rather how to answer a question when there is a word evaluate and theory together. I repeat, how to write an answer, whether 9 marker or 22 marker, when there is theory and evaluation together. For example, evaluate schema theory, evaluate theory of reasoned action, evaluate social cognitive theory, evaluate social identity theory. In short, this is an idea how to use this in all the questions, which is evaluate whenever there is a theory. So we will be doing social identity theory, and through that you will learn the rest of it. So I will be moving my screens a bit, so there will be slight inconvenience, but I try to make it as smooth as possible. In between, I will be giving you 5 or 10 minutes timers to research. So before I start, I'll show you that what is there on your Teams. First, there is a document which you open on your laptop, on your screen, which says IB Psychology Evaluation for Theory. And I am sharing my screen now, the same document. So I am on the document now. And I know you cannot see, but I am just taking slightly slower pace. So here is the option to share. So this is the document which is there on your screen. How to evaluate a theory and what words. So whenever we have this title or this question, evaluate a theory, we don't go with strength and weaknesses, methodology, or any other kind of evaluation technique. We go with teacup. Teacup, not the teacup, it's an acronym. Acronym means there are different words just to make it a simple thing that you remember for longer time, it stays with you. So teacup, a common psychology, common strategy. It's a strategy. It's not the actual teacup, it's a strategy or acronym. T for testability. Testability means can we redo it? Is it testability? Can we redo it? Is it falsible? E for empirical support. Empirical support means is it reliable? The research is reliable. When we do with multiple sources, will this give same results? A for application. Application means whatever the findings or whatever the theories can be applied to real world setting. For example, when we say social cognitive theory that you learn from the role model, can we apply it in real world setting? The ideas from the theory. Construct validity. Listen carefully when I say construct validity. The word construct is taken from construction, means how the variables IV and DV, cause and effect relationship, is being constructed. Imagine you are in a field, football field. Do you think there is some kind of, and you are observing people, do you think their variables are controlled there? No. So theory, to test whether they are controlled or not, they are constructed in certain way in highly controlled environment. Is it measurable that if you stop this, the other thing will be affected? For example, if I'll give you a list of words and two, and after that I'll ask you to recall. So the list of word is created and you are given 30, 40 seconds in between, and then you are reproduced. So you can see what happened, how much retention is there. Unbiased. Do you think the theory or the finding of the theory is unbiased? Is there is culture, gender, or researcher biases are there? There are a lot of theories which are just tested on men's, women only, or either only vulnerable group of people can be applied to all of them. And there is high possibility if they are just used it on one gender, one group of people, there is high possibility it is biased. Predictive validity. The word predictive validity talks about, can this theory predict our behavior? Can this theory predict our behavior? Means with the help of this theory, we can predict what could happen. So when I say social identity theory, it talks about us and them. People are divided into two groups. Can it predict that if you divide people in two groups, they'll go against each other? Or how to solve the differences? Can it predict future? So these are 5 lines which I want you to read. It is there in your document. And it talks about the idea of what is teacup. Now you have 5 to 7 minutes. Let's make it 5 minutes. Jot down these words: testability, empirical evidence, repeat, application, construct validity, unbiased, and predictive validity. Just go on Google and research about them and come back. So I'm going to on my timer for next 5 minutes. Go on Google or go on any other. What words you will gauge out of these words, all these 5 words. So the 5 minutes are over, and after that, we'll move to the activity. So we have done that 5 minutes, and I want you to keep your notes ready. So we will be discussing that how social identity theory work on the grounds of teacup. Just keep in mind, if the question comes for 9 marker, you have to use just one aspect of teacup. Means that T, E, A, or anything. When it's come for a 22 marker, you have to use two words from teacup. So I will be sharing my screen now. And it's a Prezi which I have uploaded on your Teams. So you can have a look. So don't bother about that you don't have resources or something. I have already uploaded everything. Here is my presentation. So evaluating social identity theory. So if you see that how you have to evaluate social identity theory. We all remember social identity theory. I'm just going to tell you in brief that how groups are divided. There is no problem of in the division, but problem happens because us and them happen. We are better, they are inferior, something like that, and then there is a differences. Although Tachwell has given this theory, the purpose of this theory was to tell you that this is a human nature, right? But when it comes in practicality, in behavior, it becomes a problem. So the first thing is about social identity theory is testability. Testability talks about that socialist and has been tested using many relevant studies such as Tachwell 1971. So do you remember that Tachwell study says us and them? So these are the name of the study. Whenever you are writing your answers and you say that you are going to use teacup testability, you have to use Dashfell, Howard, Yuki, or Harris and Fix to show that how testable it is, right? Empirical evidence is supports that how this theory demonstrate that discrimination and favoritism can occur within minimal group due to group process, that how the group has been formed. Author supports 2002 supports the theory by pointing out on social representation from the basis of positive and negative stereotypes that contribute to social identity. So, when if you are using E, you are using this particular study, you have to write aim, procedure, and finding, and then show how it has empirical support, right? The third one is application. Can it apply to real world? The social identity theory can be used to understand role of groups in our shaping of social identities. It allows us to understand behavior such as after using any of the study. I have not named any study, any of the study, you can use this particular aspect. It allows you to understand behavior. So any study, because the entire study shows that how the theory is applicable and how it shows the differences in groups. Construct validity means how the variables are constructed. The concepts of social identity theory is well defined and as is proposed by that there are three mental processes involved in distinction between group, in-group, and out-group. However, the theory might be hard to grasp as there are multiple layers and concepts. The SIT more observable or measure if it often serves as an observational behavior. So you can see differences in people by observation rather than there is no checklist, but still you can see it through behavior observation. So that doesn't mean that it doesn't have construct validity. You can say that construct validity is low. You will not say it won't, it's low. The last one is not last one, second last, unbiased. Although they did not specify which gender, so we are assuming that they have used both the genders, male, female, so there is no problem with gender. It is a cross cultural study. So, for example, Tachful has survived Holocaust and he has seen it from his perspective. And now, when we have seen videos in class and everything, it is worked across the globe. And it's not only focused on men, it is focused on all the gender, and it is mostly unbiased. Predictive validity, does it predict behavior? It allows us to predict mental processes, that how human brain works, how we differentiate or discriminate people, and it leads to development of one social identity. The group behavior and the result of one one person is trying hard for positive self-esteem. So all in all, this all aspect of teacup is used in SIT, but you have to use a specific study to answer a specific side of it. When they say 9 marker, you have to use one. When they say 22 marker, you have to use out of these 6 teacups, 2. You have that I have shown you the introduction for 22 marker. Now you have 10 minutes to write the intro of your answer, and I will be checking that in class. 10 minutes for writing the introduction. The screen will be on. Just write the introduction for a 9 marker. Keep in mind one word or one acronym from teacups. I'm sharing my screen again. 10 minutes, and I think it's a good time. Your time starts now. 10 minutes and just write your intro. And I'm turning my camera for next 10 minutes. So 10 minutes are over now. If you see, you have to, I believe that you have written your answer by now. What you have to do, go to the same document, which I'm sharing my screen again, and you will find there three case studies. I recommend use a study which is slightly younger, means 90s or 20s. So there is this ortho, but yes, there is Sheriff and Thatchwell. Thatchwell study, so Thatchwell you have to learn. And if you are opting for a 22 marker, you have to run two to go with the younger one. So I'm sharing my screen again. That go to the document, and now you will be writing body of the essay. And your body will require aim, procedure, and finding. And after that, you will be writing a conclusion. But before conclusion, what you have to keep in mind. So if you see the document, which I am going back again. So this particular document, I just made one. It talks about testability. Use which word you have used in your answer. Testability, empirical, unbiased, and take ideas from this. And before conclusion, and show that how that study use testability. That yes, it was measurable. Yes, it was, or it was not. It was abstract. There was empirical evidences. There won't any evidences. And then when you go down, there are three case studies after the introduction. See here. And there are links that you can go and read the entire study. Key findings, assessing the study, Hortho study, Thatchwell study, and all these studies are there. So these are studies are for your reference. Please read and you will understand that what. And after that, I think you have 10 or 15 minutes. I recommend you will frame an entire answer, introduction, body, and conclusion. And in next class, you will show me that answer. So you are not leaving the class, you continue writing your answer. And I hope by now you will learn how to write a 22 marker or a 9 marker for the question when it comes to evaluate the theory, evaluate data theory, evaluate social identity theory, evaluate social cognitive theory, or any other theory. So please go to the document and take and write at least 250 words. You have remaining 10-15 minutes, and in next class I'll see your answer. Best of luck. So you can turn off my recording and continue writing. In the next class I will give you feedback.